Welcome to Nerds Against Normality, the podcast that staggers through film history like a half-infected extra in a low-budget horror. This week, we're reviewing 28 Days Later, Danny Boyle's terrifying vision of post-apocalyptic Britain, where the streets are empty, Wetherspoons has been boarded shut, and Tim Martyr suggests to the staff to get jobs at Tesco. I'm Harry Bowles, and with me are my two favourite co-hosts. My wife Stacey, the person who'd survive a rage outbreak just by avoiding people, just like she's trained all her life.
That's me.
And Ben Sheridan, the kind of guy who'd absolutely wake up 28 days into the end of the world and wonder who undressed him and left him nude.
It's happened before.
And I'll be your host. I had the rage virus before it was cool, and I am fucking furious. Furious that I haven't got a cup of tea to hand, furious that no one stocked up the snacks, furious that I woke up mid-apocalypse and Ben still hasn't messaged me back. Why don't you love me? Just to warn you all that this is a podcast that contains heavy amounts of swearing, adult themes, and the occasional bullying of Benjamin. As always, if you haven't already, you can catch us on all of the social medias: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, mail, pigeon, carrier pigeon.
Bebo!
I don't know.
MSN. Let's bring it back.
So before we get into the review, we're just going to talk one thing that we've done since the last review, and it could be whatever: watched, gamed, worked, wanked. What you wanked off, Ben?
Speaking of work.
You wanted a new segment, here we go.
I want this. Ben's wanking.
Who's that spaff?
Oh!
Go on,
I'll
then, Ben.
take it because I haven't done a lot. I've only just worked. But there's been a massive event in gaming that's happened. And I've been glued to my PS5 for about 2 days, or any time I can get some time.
How did you wrench yourself free?
Exactly. It was because you lot text me very threatening messages to come over.
Are we familiar with Helldivers 2?
I've heard of it.
Cool. Harry?
I've not played it, I know what it is.
Great. Cool.
Starship Troopers, the game.
Starship Troopers the game. Close enough.
If you're a Helldivers 2 fan, you know what's happening at the moment as a time of recording, which is like, well, in podcast land, it's 2023. So, but it's in the world map, essentially. Like in Helldivers 2, you fight against aliens on different planets, and there's 3 factions. They're all trying to basically get towards Super Earth, which is in the middle of it. If it gets to Super Earth, the game will just end. Obviously, it clearly won't, but like that's the sort of way it's been going for a year now. It's never happened. It's always been like the factions have gotten close, but they've never ever got to Earth until this week. There was a surprise attack. And I swear to God, it has literally been like my phone beeped onto Reddit. It was like, Helldivers, they've invaded Super Earth. It's finally happened. And I was like, I'm so sorry, team. I've got to leave work early. Duty calls. Democracy must be upheld.
Surprise!
It has been, like, the first 24 hours was genuinely like going through Vietnam. I can assume. I wasn't there. I've had a terrible time there, though.
It makes me think of the film Mars Attacks.
It kind of was like Mars Attacks, the film, but crossed with Saving Private Ryan. I lost a lot of good men.
Okay.
All right, there are times when I had to talk down people. There was
So are you on the defence of Earth?
defence of it, yeah.
So what, and are you now on Earth fighting the aliens?
On Earth, and we've never gone there before. You can't go to a planet until it's been, like, activated. So you can fly near it, but you couldn't ever, like, go onto it. And now it's just, now they're there, and there was 8 cities that you've got to defend. It's like, if you lose them, that's it.
So what happens? They just shut the servers. Sorry, guys.
Just pull the plug.
You did really well.
On this incredibly profitable game, like, shut it all down.
Wait till Helldivers 3.
So there was 8 cities at the start of the campaign. Within 24 hours, we'd lost 6 of them.
Oh, nice.
It was a bloodbath, Harry. I can't tell you how many deaths there's been. The memorial wall is currently being built. There's a Kickstarter. I may have contributed.
So we can't get you to fund the pod, but
Are you Super Earth?
I could be.
I don't think you are.
Could. Quite the funding.
But it's been great. It's been really, really fun because you just feel like a live service game. You feel like if you're not in it, like you'll lose.
Yeah, you'll miss out.
You'll miss
Do you get,
out.
like, resources and stuff?
That too, and I think
Yeah.
usually after every major campaign they've done, you get like a cape and a special emblem to be like you were there.
A cape?
Oh yeah. You get a cape.
Why are we doing this fucking podcast then?
I know.
Let's play Helldivers 2.
I know. I keep telling
Immediately.
you.
I don't get it though. How do you win?
Who cares? Cape.
Harry summed it up perfectly. It is just the cape.
Enough questions.
It's all for the cape. Stacey, what have you been up to?
I finished watching the fifth and final season of You. It might be the fourth. I've lost track.
Season 4 was in London, wasn't it?
The fifth and final season of You.
Oh, how was it? Is it the final one?
It's the final one, yes, and it ends definitively, so you can't bring him back again.
So he dies.
No. Spoiler alert, he gets put in prison and they attribute most of all the killings to him. I imagine there are a few outliers, I can't.
I imagine because he has done all the killings.
Yeah.
Okay, so
And
they can attribute most of the killings to him because he did do most of the killings.
Yeah, but like he did a few sneaky side ones that you probably wouldn't be able to pin back to him that you wouldn't know about,
Right,
I'm assuming. But you always get that with serial killers.
God, you'd get a major true crime podcast out of that, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Does he have a book with him? Does he carry a book with him into prison? He likes the books, doesn't he?
He does like the books.
Nice. What book does he carry?
I can't remember what one it is.
Alan Shearer's autobiography.
Sure. They shoot off his penis.
Who? Who shoots off his penis?
The women.
All of the women.
All of the women.
Yeah. They chase him down and shoot off his penis.
They chase him down and shoot off his penis?
Yeah, I'm paraphrasing.
Are you?
No, but it's
Just
quite...
find him coming outside of Greg's.
There it is. Grab it.
It's assumed that they
What sort
do.
of gun? Because that could result in different, severity.
I think it's a shotgun. Yeah.
A shotgun.
A shotgun to the penis.
That guy's got no groin.
Sounds like a Pantera album.
Yeah.
You need a very, very big weapon for me. You'd need at least a few rounds to...
The Men in Black cricket.
Yes, Harry, the Men in Black cricket. Thank you. Thank you for that timely reference.
You knew what it was.
Commenting on my size. So, dig shot off.
Yeah.
Title of the first episode.
But it was a good season, but it needed to finish because they kind of follow the same trope in the different seasons, and this was no different. So he's married, but he falls in love with a girl, but all the way through you're guessing how's it going to end, who's going to be the one to get him, etc., etc. And it wraps up quite nicely because I think I'm right in saying that Penn Badgley, who plays him, he has all the way through said like he finds it a really problematic character because he's quite charming and a lot of people like him as the character, not the kind of victim side of it and stuff, which is what you often say about serial killers.
Yeah, he's very nice. He's a very nice man.
He is, yeah.
He's lovely.
He's great. But when he ends up in prison, you get this like great monologue from the women of like remembering who had died and what they'd be doing now.
I can't believe we shot his dick off.
And they get their comeuppance.
Oh, right.
But then it ends with him in the prison at the end and he's reading a fan note from, serial killers get fan notes from people being like, I love you and I'll be the one to judge him.
You didn't. I wrote to you, but you still ain't called me.
I left your penis at the bottom.
But he is gone cold and wondered.
And he says, like, I think the real problem is you. It's not me, it's you. Like, why are you interested in me? Kind of thing. So it leaves on like quite a good note.
It's going to make people even more interested in it now.
Yeah. It was really good. It was good. It was the same as what you've had before. It was very Moorish, but... And what have you been up to, old timer?
Mostly I've been vibing What We Do in the Shadows.
Oh, nice.
We finished season 5, which I thought was the most up-to-date season. But it turns out we've got another season, which is terrific because, more terrific TV is always better.
You're like, oh...
So the last season we watched was probably, I'd say it's one of the better ones actually. It's where Guillermo, he gets bitten by his friend Derek. He pays to become a vampire, pays him like 200 grand. And that's obviously, it causes big problems because he's caused like great dishonour to his master. His master is Nandor. Yeah, so obviously Nandor should be the one that changes him. But the fact he's gone behind his back, it now means that he needs to be killed. And Nandor could then potentially kill himself because it's brought great dishonour to his family and all this stuff. Obviously, he's the last one to know because he's a fucking moron. But because Guillermo has Van Helsing blood, it's like it's fighting it. So he can't fully converge into a vampire.
Right, that's cool.
It's quite funny, yeah. Like when they take his shirt off and that, he's got little, let's just say underdeveloped wings.
Which doesn't matter.
No, it's fine. It doesn't matter about the size of the wings.
No, absolutely. Someone who might say that's too big.
Too big wingspan.
Too big of a wingspan.
He can't use it very well though.
Can't fly for very long.
No, that's fair.
But it's good flying.
Yeah, it's very good flying.
Very
and he's
good
very
flying.
enthusiastic about it. He's very grateful.
Very grateful.
He's very grateful you've given him the time to look at the wingspan.
This is a great return to form as well for Matt Berry. I felt in the season before he kind of played a bit part character and he wasn't as vibrant or as funny. But this one, he kind of mentors Guillermo, doesn't he? He's the first one to find out and he like experiments on him. Gets weird. He uses his blood and puts it in animals. And then you get like little Guillermo, like pigs, calves, like ferrets. And they've all got weird faces. It's all a bit horrible to look at. Yeah, they all start crying. And they're like, you've got to kill him, you've got to kill him. And he's like, okay. And they're like, Dad. And he's like, oh, don't call me that.
I disagree though. I think Nandor has been absolutely amazing.
Yeah, he's the best.
He's clearly the best. And one of my favourite things is when he gets all the genie wishes and he's got like something like 60 wishes or something. But he ends up using them on really stupid things. Like one episode, he just plastic surgeries himself until he like can't open his eyes. And then he's like, just change me back to normal.
And his wife is like, I wish he had slightly shorter hair. No, put it back.
And then people like Guillermo are like, oh, Master, do you think you can just wish for? He's like, I'm not wasting my wishes.
Yeah, the house is like falling apart and they're like, please use a wish to just fix the house. It's like, no, that's how it all starts. Then you'll be like, oh, I really wish we had this rug. And he's like, you're not fooling me. No, it's just brilliant TV. Like, it's a comedy that's not going out of its way to be funny all the time.
No.
And I think that's what's charming about it.
Where does this season rank compared to the other ones that you've seen? Highly or?
Definitely. I'd say it's in the upper half.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's been so long since I watched the original 3 that I would struggle to rank them.
I don't want to know when the first one came out because we watched the original film a long time ago.
Yes. I don't want to think about it.
I don't want to think about it
it
either.
come out 2018, I reckon. 2018, 2019. And I think they've got one more season coming up. Is it called the final season or something? I think they are literally wrapping it up.
That's it. They're all done. It's weird that it's quite fun to think that literally that film has now made essentially a franchise.
That Disney bought.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just amazing to think that it's now done that because they'll do a spin-off of something else and all that. Because even though it's the final season, it won't go anywhere because they'll want to do a spin-off and then I'm trying to wait for the next film. We've been promised the Werewolves film for like 10 years.
Yeah.
You remember that was going to be the next thing,
Yeah.
and then it's still in development. So I don't really know what's happening with it. And they just went, yeah, we're going to do a TV show.
I think it really highlights how funny Jermaine Clement is. I know Taika also writes it with him, but this is, for me, like your clear Flight the Conchords kind of humour. And I think you should do more.
A bit awkwardy.
It's a very like niche humour as well because I don't, apart from maybe Peep Show, I don't really know many other like countries or people that do that kind of awkward humour very well. Like Flight of the Conchords it's like Peep Show, but it's just sunny.
The thing that baffles me the most is all three of them, Nandor, Matt Berry, obviously, Laszlo, and Nadja, they're all British, but it's filmed in Canada.
Yeah, it's a show set in set in Australia, New Zealand?
New York.
Set in New York, filmed in Canada with a mostly British cast.
Matt Berry's the only English one though, isn't he, in it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's English.
Yeah.
He's like a proud Englishman.
Yeah.
Um,
They're all European.
You can't be disguising that.
no, don't. That would be a savage.
Can you imagine that?
I think that's why he's in it, for that voice alone.
he has built his whole career on that voice.
Yeah, I know, it's impressive.
If you haven't seen it, watch the film, watch the series. It's brilliant TV. It's great.
It's good TV.
And it's not a lot of it. It's 10 episodes a season, possibly less than that when it was on BBC.
It's going to take me a lot longer than 28 days to watch all that TV, Harry.
How long will it take?
Probably like 29, 30, probably a month. I teed you up there and you threw it back in my face.
I know. I'm so sorry.
Go fuck yourself.
Anyway, on with the film review.
On with the review.
On with the review.
Okay, as I said earlier, we are reviewing 28 Days Later. And as always, start off with the box office. Got to guess those numbers. And Stacey, I would like to start with you.
I think Ben should go first.
I don't.
Right.
So, I would like to ask you.
Yes.
I know, so this is a UK film.
Yeah.
I would like to know the dollars. How many dollars it was made.
Boo!
All right. Well, that's super easy, Harry. But
I want it in pounds sterling.
Well, then halve it. Okay, so how much do you think it cost to make?
Okay, I don't actually think it was a huge, big budget. I think the biggest budget was probably Empty in London. So I'm going to give it 20 mil.
Okay, you think it cost 20 mil to make. And Benjamin?
I'm going to say 6 million.
You're going to say 6 million.
6 million. Because it is an indie film. Super indie.
Okay, so I can confirm it was 8 million. So it was low budget. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because Danny Boyle, he had made a few other films, but yeah, this was through an independent studio. Very low budget. Also, Cillian Murphy wasn't established at this point, so they could afford to give him fuck all.
Yep.
And how much do you think it made, Ben?
80 mil.
You're going 80 mil.
I'm going to go 80 million. It made 10 times its budget.
I don't know if it made that much.
1.2 billion.
I'm going to go 70 mil.
You said, okay, both good guesses to be fair. 84.6.
Really?
Which is good.
That is a big success.
Yeah, 10 times.
Big success.
They could be happy with that.
Had Danny Boyle made Trainspotting by this point?
He'd made Trainspotting and he'd made The Beach, and I'm pretty sure he made another, but I cannot remember.
It was quite well established.
It's also Alex Garland's first ever film. Who wrote it? He also wrote The Beach.
Yes. They love working together. All right, so directed by Danny Boyle, the film stars Cillian Murphy, Naomi Harris and Christopher Eccleston. The film, which was released in 2002, ironically brought zombie films back to life with the introduction of fast zombies. Currently sits on a 7.5 on IMDb, which is certainly impressive.
It is good.
Gave me a semi anyway.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Harry texts me whenever he gets one. I got a lot of texts.
So, first impressions of this film. We're just going to go over how it felt, how it touched us, because that's what we are. We're artsy people now.
We are artsy people.
No. This is not the first time you've watched it?
No.
I imagine?
No, it's not.
No.
When did you first watch it?
Oh, ages and ages ago.
Was you born when this came out?
I was... Yes. How old was I when this came out? I was 8 years old.
8 years old.
When this
Did
came
you
out.
watch it illegally?
No, I didn't see it till years and years later because I didn't like horror films.
Ironically.
I ironically did not like horror films. But I really liked zombie films. But then this passed me by completely. I weirdly enough remember the poster for this because it's a really iconic poster. It's the one with the red eye. It's that completely red. It's got the yellow eyes. I remember that being advertised around where I used to live. But then didn't see it till years and years later. So this is like maybe my third rewatch of it.
Did you live opposite a billboard?
Terrified opening the curtains as they were. I'm like, ah! Close them immediately.
Mum, when does Tron come out? When they need a new poster. Okay.
No, I didn't live opposite a billboard, Stacey.
And when did you first watch this?
I don't know. I would have watched it years ago. I think I probably watched it at uni when I was a bit old or something like that. But
this could potentially be VHS days, right? DVDs would have been
only
out.
just DVD for me when I finally saw it. It was a DVD.
But no, I would have watched it at uni, I think, around that era, because I didn't like horror films, but I don't mind zombie films. I didn't remember a lot of this film when we were watching it, apart from, the scenes.
I remember London very clearly, but everything else around that was a little bit hazy. Like the opening, I'd completely forgotten about the actual opening with the chimp.
Oh yeah, the introduction of the
rage. I had
rage.
completely forgotten that was a thing. I always remembered it. Oh, he just woke up in the hospital.
That was the opening scene.
But I was just like, that's literally how this all starts. I completely forgot about it.
Did your professor talk about this film at all? Because they were studying zombie films, weren't they?
She did, yeah. One of my professors at uni was doing her PhD in zombie studies.
Ben, if it was a teacher when Stacey was at university, think how old she is now.
Oh my God.
I'll give her a
If
call.
she's alive.
If you too remember this film coming out, listening to this podcast, you too are also very old.
Go to the
Not like
doctors,
me.
get your prostate checked.
but not like me. He only remembers it from a billboard outside his bedroom window. And I'm young. I'm young and relevant still.
You're young.
I'm young and wanted. You're young.
You're young. So, did it shit you up back then? Did you find it scary?
Massively. Yeah, it still got me a little bit now.
Still gave you the willies.
Yeah, give me big willies. Huge willies. Oh my god, big.
Cillian Murphy's willy, well, which I was surprised to see.
Yeah. What?
I was like, oh, that's his willy.
Yeah, absolutely. That's his penis. Which means someone has just. That's not policy in the NHS to just strip you naked.
Yeah, I know.
And then walk out, lock the door, and kick the key under the door again. To be like, that's going to be real funny for him when he wakes up.
In approximately 28 days.
Yeah. A lot of dong in this. More dong than I was expecting.
Considering how cold he would have been.
Absolutely.
Fair play, sir.
But also, I'm amazed he managed to get his own private booth. Like, that is a
Must have been earning. Fruit delivery guy.
Oh, yeah. Bike career back then. Bloody hell.
He did have a cord wrapped around his penis. I don't know if anyone else noticed that.
Well, that's to test it.
I think he...
Why did you notice that?
I don't know, but I think he passed out.
Why do we pause it for 10 minutes? That's the real question.
Why do we try and zoom in on this terrible quality looking film? Get it on Prime. Maybe there's a 4K version.
There's not.
There really isn't.
What are we talking about?
Oh, yeah.
So it still gave you the willies.
Oh, yeah, that. Yeah, it's also quite sad. I've forgotten how sad it was.
Oh, it has some emotional
It's got
heartbreak.
some really emotional bits, which I was like, oh, forgot that happened in this.
We've recently established that Stacey's heartless.
That is true.
Yeah, I didn't find it that sad.
You were laughing, I don't know why.
When Frank got the blood in the eye, she's like, what a wanker.
Oh, that would have never happened to me because I wear glasses.
That's so true.
That's true, isn't it?
I'm prepared for anything. It
Exactly.
wouldn't have gone in my eye, but my nostrils are massive.
That's true.
How you would have had to be looking at that like that for that to happen.
I was going to throw out there, he kind of deserved it.
Yeah.
Come on. Why was he so angry at the crow?
Of all the places to go, like, no, mate, it probably would have. I wouldn't have been able to find clothes. So it would have been like, it's been all right. Oh, it's falling right down my urethra. It's like, what a way to go. No.
Piss it out, Ben. Piss it out. I don't need to go.
It's just you two there, like, I love you both very much. Stay away. Yeah, like, I think Frank's bit is quite. There's the house bit is scary still because I've forgotten that was happening. Like when he's looking at the home film, and then all of a sudden, like two of them just come out of nowhere, like genuinely just out of nowhere. And what's another bit that really got me? Oh, that's really gonna bug me.
The high tension bit is when they're in the tunnel.
Ooh,
I remember I didn't like that.
Didn't like that at all. No.
But when the rats are running and they're like, what are they running from? Yeah. And you see the sketchy kind of like shadows, and you're like, change the fucking wheel. Change the fucking wheel. Yeah, that.
No, not that. You put that wheel on this wheel. We still need another wheel.
Oh man, I'd be bad in that situation.
I wouldn't have done well with that at all.
I knew we'd get fucking killed if you changed the wheel.
Yeah.
Thanks, Stace.
The rage virus would have overcome you.
You just become one of them.
The only person that didn't get infected by blood is just pure rage at his dear wife trying to change the fucking tyre.
Don't shoot him, he's just an angry man. I think the zombies being fast is terrifying. This survival plan is all about cardio.
Yeah.
Or hiding.
Oh, I just remember the bit that frightened me. It's in the church.
That was terrifying.
Didn't like
Hello?
that. Yeah,
and they look.
That. I've forgotten about that. I didn't like that at all.
There's something about a zombie priest that's really horrific as well.
Yeah, this does very well with what it does, with what it has. I think, there's just good tension because they run, which no zombie film had done before.
It was the first. Yep.
Everything just gets like... Because you can't outrun them at all because they never get tired. So you're fucked. You're so fucked.
They do lose interest if they can't get you locked. When they drive off in the car, you do see them kind of go, well, fuck it.
What
are you going to do?
I wonder if that was the extras just being like, I can't do this anymore, Danny, please. It's been
the 7th takes.
It's been 8 takes.
That's
I am
what I
exhausted.
said.
Because literally there's one of them just goes, oh my God.
Thank God.
There is another one of those where there's a dead guy on the floor right at the end when he's in the forest clearing and he's trying to escape in handcuffs, and you can see the guy breathing on the floor.
Oh, can you?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
I didn't, to be fair, until we rewound it and I was like, Oh yeah, he's
Yeah,
very much breathing now.
Yeah.
Not just in one scene either. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. I would like to ask you, as you've worked on a lot of sets, so London being emptied, obviously hard to do.
Very hard to do.
Famously busy.
Yeah.
Quite populated.
So I've heard.
Horrible smell.
Never been there.
No. So how do you think they did it?
First, they put a billboard up.
And nobody wanted to leave their house.
Outside my window.
And then when that didn't work, they were like, oh shit.
Oh, we put up one billboard. How many billboards are in London? How many?
I'd imagine they just have to cordon off roads.
Well, you've nailed it.
She's actually got it in one.
They sounded a siren. And they were like, the end of the world's coming, clear out.
Clear out.
There's a man with his dong out, walking around.
He's got a shopping bag and he's hit a priest. This guy's mental.
He's on a bender, mate.
This guy's mental. And he's Irish. It's all shot early morning. Very early morning.
Between 4 and 7.
4 and 7? But even that's ambitious. And you would have had to close... You would have closed the road so briefly.
So they got 60-second windows
they
on
literally-
Westminster.
So the scene when they go, it's a really like, from a film set perspective, it's a really like famous story of how they, when he's going past that overturned bus next to Trafalgar Square,
Yeah.
because we've been there, because I was like, oh shit, yeah, it's weird to go past these places and be like, oh, I've literally walked down that street, I've never seen it that empty, apart from COVID. They had 20 minutes to shoot that, that's it, and because they could divert traffic round, so the whole crew managed to get the bus in, turn it on its side, dress the set, get Cillian in, shoot 2 takes, get the bus onto its wheels and off again in 20 minutes. Bearing in mind that the average setup time for a film now is about 90 minutes.
3 to 4 days.
To move a camera takes about 90 minutes to do on a setup. So to do that in 20 minutes was completely unknown at the time.
Well, so they had one secret weapon up their sleeve with Danny Boyle.
Yeah.
He got all of the really attractive women to like go out there and be like, sorry guys, we're just filming a film. Would you mind just waiting a bit or taking
you joking?
I'm
No,
not
that's
joking.
true.
Oh, that makes me feel ill.
That's true. And then, of course, one of them was just like, all right, then I'll tell you what, where do you want to go, love? And it's just like, there's an old tradition here in England where you need to... And that's how Fake Taxi was born.
And they did it on a shoestring, which is mad.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
had a shoestring cordoning off the roads.
Yes.
if
They
it's been-
tied lots and lots of shoestrings, sponsored by Nike.
But if it's being held by 2 very attractive women...
No, that's what they had as their bra. The shoestrings were just covering their nips.
And that is, again, a true fact.
Yep.
Same thing for the M1 when they did that as well.
Oh, what, when they're going up to Manchester?
Yes.
And they set Manchester on fire.
Yeah, well, I think... I've got a feeling that was already like that.
Yeah, yeah. They were like,
reckon they
fucking
got-
somebody's already done it for us.
I reckon they got to Manchester and were like, oh, this is no different.
Any other standout scenes here? I would say the eye falling from the crow.
That's cool.
That is cool. Standout.
That's iconic.
Iconic.
Yeah.
That was-
Iconic.
No.
I don't get it.
Okay.
That was one that I really remembered, having not remembered much from the film.
It goes through 3 different films. I don't know if you noticed at that point, because it goes from, like, survival on your own, and then when they finally meet the cabbie and his daughter, then it goes into, like, a road trip film, and then when it finally goes...
Buddy cop film.
Buddy cop film.
Yep.
And then it goes into, obviously when the soldiers appear, it goes into sort of like house horror sort of film. But it's quite weird how well they're all linked together, but they're 3 completely different like tones, if that makes sense.
Well, Jim definitely has different tones throughout the film, isn't it? Like,
Jim has got insane character growth.
yeah.
From a man who's just managed to twat a priest and felt really bad about it to quite literally shivving a soldier to death.
All I'm saying, if I'm up against the gorilla with the 100, I'd want Jim on my side. And I'd feel confident.
Absolutely.
So, speaking of mental Jim, okay, we have a little fun time for you here, little fun time. So, I'm going to give you some options here. You're going to pick a zombie team to survive.
Okay.
I'm going to give you 8 zombie icons, and you can only choose 2 to help you. The rest have turned. They're fast zombies, and they're going to try and hunt you. Okay? So, we've got Jim from 28 Days Later. We've got Columbus, the main from Zombieland. You know, the nerdy guy?
Yeah, yeah.
You've got Alice from Resident Evil. You've got Jerry Lane, who is Brad Pitt in World War Z.
Yeah.
You've got R the Zombie from Warm Bodies. You've got Shaun from Shaun of the Dead. Ash from Evil Dead. And Rick Grimes.
I think we can have different picks.
Yeah, I think we are. I'm picking Alice for Resident Evil because it's Alice from Resident Evil, and I've picked Sean, but mostly for the banter.
Not survivability.
No, because we're fucked anyway. We're not damned if you do, damned
You know
if you
he'd be
don't.
like, pub.
I'm like, thanks, not now, Alice. Oh, Ash, yeah. It'd be Alice and Ash.
That's quite good.
The BAA. Bar. Like, we're team bar.
Or ABBA.
It could be ABBA, but then copyright.
Yeah, okay. Bar.
Which I'm worried about in the apocalypse. I'd be worried about it.
Wait, ABBA's relentless. If anything's going to survive a post-apocalyptic...
It's ABBA.
Yeah, it's
it's
ABBA.
the appeal of ABBA, somehow.
Okay.
What would you have, Stacey?
I'm going for Columbus from Zombieland.
Because he is a HR manager of Zombie.
Correct, because he has a plan. Whenever I watch any zombie film, including this one, I always think double tap. And he's really into cardio, so, you know.
But he'd leave you for dead because you're not that fit. I mean, you're proper gorgeous, obviously. But
Jesus Christ! I'm going to take a long hard look at myself.
Goodness me. Smash cut to Harry like running and Stacey being like...
honestly, I've seen sickly children outpace you.
And my second choice would be Rick Grimes, because in this scenario, I've ditched you and I've married Rick and he'll do anything for his family.
Like, kill his best friend and wife.
Yeah, and get his son killed.
No,
And pretty much anyone else he cares about.
Top, like...
No, remember that time that he ripped someone's throat out with... Yeah, he bit someone's throat out to save
Yeah, he also went a bit feral, didn't he?
Yeah.
I'd rely on Rick, so he'd be like the barrier between me and Columbus.
Okay, cool. I think having Alice and Ash is the better team.
Yeah, that's a much
Ash has
better.
been there and done it.
Ash
He's
been
got
there.
a shotgun, he's got a chainsaw for an arm. He doesn't give a fuck.
No one is messing with you
Oh,
there.
he's got a chainsaw for an arm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well.
It's in the second film, isn't it? That is the second film. Yeah.
And it literally just plugs in like an extension. And Alice is good because she evolves. And by the end of the film, she is basically a superhero.
Exactly. Alice Mila Jovovich.
Yeah,
Like,
she could block off the streets with her shoelaces any day of the week.
Absolutely.
So, obviously, there's some themes in this. I think we should talk about how humans are probably the real shits. Although zombies, obviously, are the initial threat.
Yeah.
As the film moves on, you soon see that toxic masculinity and the military.
Well, I think it's a classic trope in zombie films anyway, isn't it? When you have human beings eventually becoming the worst threat than the zombies. But it's not really utilised in this film until the very end with the army guys. And it's got my sexism rant's coming.
There we go.
I'm ready for it.
Oh, batten down the hatches.
Hold on to your penises.
Before you shoot them off.
Hold on to Jim's penis.
It's actually a really good commentary on patriarchy, I think, because you've got the whole base being run by these militant guys, and at first they're fine, they're the saviours and whatnot, but then slowly, obviously, you see that they're like...
It falls apart quick, doesn't it?
At one point, Eccleston is on a literal gold chair, like the throne. But then, obviously, when they start... the horrible vibes come out with the women and they're going to basically take them and rape them or whatever else they're going to do.
In their defence, they have ruined a great stag do.
You missed the part where they're like, lads on tour, lads on tour.
Yeah, you can see
I
it. Just,
still don't think that's acceptable.
Just after his dad gets shot, you don't see the massive T-shirts they've got of just like, oh, Jamie Stag Do 2002. Sorry, Stacey, you're talking about the patriarchy.
But Jim very much represents the opposite of that. They're very toxic masculinity vibes. And then at one point he says to him, like, do you want to join in on this? Like, you can, it's fine. And he's like, well, fucking no.
Got the T-shirt.
They treat him just the same as well, and they're really horrible to him. But it's interesting because what's her name? What is her name? The main
Selena.
lady. Selena is the survivalist throughout until this point, isn't she?
Well, yeah, because she kind of acts like they do. Because she says to him, like, I will just leave you.
Yeah.
Like, if you slow me down, I will leave you. And also, she literally butchers her mate. Like, with no hesitation.
Immediately, yeah.
I mean,
and horrifically,
you're never going to resell that house. You've got dead parents upstairs, you've got a butchered body downstairs, the skylight's smashed in,
the neighbours have fucking jumped through the conservatory.
the orange juice is gone.
If she killed me, I'd be apologising to her.
Sorry, I'm such an inconvenience. I dulled your blade, I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, ever so sorry.
I'm really sorry.
So in this scenario, Are you going for survival on the run like they do, or are you pugging up in like a Greg's?
Pugging up in Greg's.
Yeah?
Oh, I don't know. Could we plug up in a Greg's? Because Greg's didn't exist.
What?
This was before Greg's, the franchise.
I refuse to believe it.
Really?
I'm stunned that there was a Costa Coffee, because I always thought Costa Coffee came in about 2018. So imagine my fucking surprise when I see Jim with his dong out in front of the Costa Coffee, which I must say, incredible advertisement.
Endorsed by Costa.
If you've ever seen a zombie film, like you say, you can't rely on other humans, so you've got to find yourself a farmland, grow your own crops, make it happen in
When
your
they
own
do that,
community.
the place they're in at the end is the best option in the cottage.
But what if you get swarmed? Where are you going to go?
You set up your own defences. It'd be a bit like Home Alone, I imagine.
But a bit more stressful, maybe.
Oh, it's alright, I put the toy cars down. Like, oh my god, he's come through the fucking skylight.
I'd be putting baubles underneath all my windows.
They can go through them.
So, talking of, we talked about it earlier, the legacy. So, what films do you think this kind of influenced?
It's like every zombie film going forward, I think, pretty much.
So, we did do a little spoiler. It's the first film to introduce running zombies.
Yeah. What were some of the other ones that...
Dawn of the Dead. So, the remake of Dawn of the Dead
That was
come 2 years
runners.
later. And they become runners because they obviously in the original, was it the 70s? The Romero one?
Yeah.
They were slow, stupid. These ones, runners.
Yeah. Well, we've talked about this in the pub every now and again. Like, because everyone's got a zombie survival plan. Because everyone has said, like, if it's Walking Dead zombies, then, like, what would you do? But then if you ever go, like, yeah, but what if it's the 28 Days Later zombies? Everyone goes, oh, then we're fucked.
You're fucked.
Yeah. There's no surviving that. What else? World War Z, I imagine. There's probably
World War Z runners.
massive influence.
There was the Batiste film not that long ago that come out.
Oh, the Army that... No.
Yeah,
Was it Zack Snyder?
Zack Snyder's film.
The
I can't remember what it's
Vegas
called.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that.
They're runners.
I think it was hugely influential on British cinema as well.
Massively influential. And also for indie filmmaking, really, because it showed you could make a film like this, which has a big scale, but for quite cheap. I love a film like this, which, like, if you had enough contacts and you had enough sort of know-how, you could make this.
You're saying we could make this?
Let's make this.
I
Right,
think we
let's
should make
corner
this.
off Westminster Bridge because Ben's going to get his dong out.
We should utilise our Jersey contacts and just take over Jersey.
Do you have a bridge? No. Okay, fair enough.
We're going home, boys.
Do you have a Costa? Okay, good. Can I
Get my penis out?
in front of the Costa? Jersey, write in about that, please. Send us a photo of the Costa.
Do you think any other films, apart from 28 Weeks Later, has ever like matched the energy, like how this film is, how well executed this is for a zombie film?
I think where it's independent, it stands out against the rest, I think.
And because it's member berries, right?
Yeah.
You know London, you see the spots, you know, I've been there.
There's something quite nice about seeing London in 2001 again, if that makes sense. Like when they do that big wide of the explosion of the petrol station, and it's in Canary Wharf.
Yeah.
And it's like, I can guarantee that petrol station's not there. None of
No,
the
they fucking blew it up.
Yeah, I was just trying to enjoy a lovely like billboard watch outside, and the petrol station's fucking got up in flames. It's like, oh, thank God they got rid of that 28 day.
Fills off that poster. 28 days later to come back.
It's kind of surreal because it's what I imagine COVID was kind of like. A lot of it, I imagine, but whenever you're looking at a zombie film, it always kind of makes a comment about something going on at the time. And actually, this has had the opposite result where COVID's happened obviously many years later, but that's all I could think about when this film was.
There was a lot of comparisons during COVID, because I've dug up some old articles. There's a lot of comparisons to COVID and the 28 Days Later scenes. People were like, so there was like a trend that went around quite for a little while where people were recreating the sequences, like on London Bridge, because it was COVID and there was no one in the city. So it was like that way of like, it was just sort of recreating itself again. But I think as well, because we haven't also really had a lot from 28 Days Later as a franchise, like the 28 Days franchise, which it is now, I guess, because the new film's coming out. But we haven't really had a lot of it. Does that make sense? And I think that's why it's still quite relevant to people, and it's still...
We're about to get a hell of a lot more, because
massive amount more.
The third one is going to be as a trilogy. It's its own
trilogy, yeah.
Yeah? Are you excited for the third one?
Massively.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Not worried it's going to
No.
kill it?
I was worried 28... I rewatched 28 Weeks Later a few weeks ago.
Oh, okay.
Before I knew we were going to record this, and that film is not Danny Boyle, but that also still holds up really well.
He produced
it,
second
and the
one,
budget is bigger, but it's not massive either. But 28 Years Later also hasn't got a huge budget for what it is.
Zombie films don't need a huge budget, do they?
No, not really.
Lots of extras.
Yeah, I'd love to do a zombie film. I've never done one.
And you can kind of get away with getting up and coming stars. I don't think you need a heavy hitter.
Yeah, but now like everyone in that film mostly has gone on to do huge careers.
Okay, so before we get on to some trivia, do we approve it? Stacey?
Yes, of course I approve. It's a classic.
Classic. Benjamin?
Oh yeah, massively approved. It's
Classic.
like proper like, if you like zombie films, this is required watching. If you like British films, this is required watching.
Agreed. I absolutely nan approve it.
Absolutely.
Out of 28 nans, how many nans would you approve? 2?
How many?
26?
How many were in the tunnel when we were trying to change the tyre? About 8. I'd give it 8 nans.
8 nans.
8 nans, and that nude one that came out of the
With the shoestring on.
yeah, and the one came out
Directing traffic.
Absolutely.
That was a surprise as well. Also, his parents, when they were in the bed, why kill yourself in your pants?
So you want to be comfortable.
But like,
You're not going to be in full garb, are you?
yeah, I will be.
I'd be in gym gear.
Sonic
Just be like,
outfit.
what's the story? Full Sonic outfit. That would be horrifying.
Gotta go suicide.
Just to create mystery and intrigue if someone finds you.
And I'd
please
maybe
don't-
like do a pose, like laying down, doing like the finger wag.
Ben, you may not touch my Sonic games. I'm not going to listen to that. I opened the cupboard. There's another note. Ben, I knew you wouldn't listen to me. Therefore, I've hidden those games, and they're not in the garden. Ben, me again. I knew. Sorry, getting a bit drowsy now. I knew.
Pills are certainly kicking in.
I knew you just lied down face down on the stairs. You never made it back. Also, please look after my skylight.
Don't let anyone break it.
Oh, so sorry, Harry.
Right, chaps, I'm going to move on to some trivia, and as I'm a massive fibber, some of it will be true, some of it will be false. You can confer. I'll allow it.
I'd rather not.
Okay, fair enough. So, number 1. All of the rage infected were played by athletes and dancers to make their movements unnerving and animalistic.
False. As we said earlier, some of them ran out of steam quite quick.
That was actually Team GB. And I'll be honest, we did not fancy our chances that year.
What do you reckon?
False.
You're going false? It was true.
What?
Really?
Whoa, there
Team
goes the
G-
mic.
Team GP, come on.
They've really let them down. Right, number 2. There are 3 alternate endings to the film, including one where Jim dies and another where Frank, the dad, survives.
True.
I think true.
I
'cause
think it is true.
I think I might have heard that before.
I also think I've seen one of these endings.
It is true, and upon test audiences, they were too sad. When Jim died, they all cried, and a lot of people left before the credits rolled.
Really?
Yeah. So Danny Boyle was like, no, thank you.
How would he have died?
I have no
does get-
idea. I was going to say something funny, but I just can't think of anything.
Maybe he would have got eaten.
I think he would have got killed at the military base. He would have sacrificed himself to save the other 2.
Mm-hmm.
He would have taken down Eccleston, wouldn't he?
Absolutely.
I think you would have come back into the mansion to save me, couldn't find me in a corridor and gone, well, I did try.
I've got a feeling.
It's funny that you think we'd still be there at that point. I would have left you back in London.
Absolutely. He'd be on the stag do with me.
You changing that tyre? Let's go, Ben. It wasn't flat. Whee! Number 3. Danny Boyle considered calling the film Rage instead of 28 Days Later, but he changed it after test audiences thought it sounded like a wrestling documentary.
And they attributed it back to one Mr. H. Bowles.
I wasn't angry in 2002.
He was just a young guy in his 20s.
I thought you were born angry.
Poor mum.
I think false.
I think that is false.
It is false.
Yeah.
I made that up.
Okay. It's a great name.
Yeah, I could believe it would be like a working title.
Yeah.
I'd believe that. The film's eerie score was composed using actual hospital monitors and heartbeats manipulated digitally.
I'm going to say...
I think false.
I'm going to say false because the soundtrack's weird.
Yeah.
I've forgotten how weird the music is in it.
It does have kind of a pulse to it, but I don't think, it doesn't sound electronic-y to me, so...
Because also I know the answer to this trivia and that a lot of the beats are attributed from Jim's penis slapping against his thighs.
But then put through a synthesizer.
A lot of synthesizers.
Yeah.
Harry, I cannot stress how many synthesizers were. That was the majority of the 8 million
Thick
budget.
slaps.
I think false.
Yeah, correct. It's false.
Okay, good.
So, sticking with British, Hugh Grant was originally approached to play Jim, but dropped out due to discomfort with all of the nudity.
Oh!
And there's a lot.
I think false. Because this would have come off... If it was true, it would have come off the back of him doing lots of rom-coms. I mean, you could argue that he wanted to do something different, but I think it's going to be a hard stretch to go from, hello, I'm Hugh Grant.
You haven't seen Hereditary.
No.
Yeah, but that came 20 years later.
28 years later. Am I right, fellas? And Stace?
Big stretch to go from about a boy to caving someone's kid's head in with a baseball bat.
Exactly. So I think false. False.
Going false?
False.
It is false.
Do you know who did it? Do you know who did audition? Not even for the main character to be one of the zombies. James McAvoy. Didn't get it. Don't know why.
Didn't get it?
No, must be.
Oh my God.
I think probably was a pretty easy role to get, honestly.
Yeah, I think I could have got it.
I think you could have. But when we remake it,
I'll be in it.
28
Hopefully.
28 minutes later.
Yeah. 28 minutes later. It's just us leaving the lab where the monkeys.
Oh, that was a bit intense.
So this one I think you might know. The film was shot on a consumer-grade Canon XL1 digital camera, which gave it a raw documentary style look, which is why it looked so shit when we were watching it on TV.
True, because it sounds fancy.
Ben?
It's true.
It is true. And how much are they worth nowadays?
£60.
£60?
60 quid you can pick one up for.
Oh, that's actually... I thought it was going to go skyrocket.
28 years later, it was shot on a phone. Genuinely.
No, what?
28 years later, the trailer and all that, it's an iPhone. They used an iPhone for it.
Oh, Jesus.
I know. God knows how that's going to turn out.
The Rage virus's origin scene with the monkeys was based on a real lab scandal that occurred in 1998 in Birmingham.
True.
True?
It was false.
God damn it.
Monkeys. Danny Boyle banned the word zombie, quotations, zombie on set. He wanted to make sure the cast and crew saw the infected as something entirely different.
True.
False. It's a zombie film.
True, because they're not technically zombies.
All right, I'll allow you to split. So you're going to go false?
Yeah. It's true.
It is true.
Banned zombie words.
Come at me, Danny Boyle.
Do you know who told me that?
Danny
Boyle. Genuinely. I worked with him on a show and I asked him. I'd said to him, because he's a lovely guy, he's so nice. I was like, is it true you banned the word zombie on 28 days? So, yeah. They weren't zombies, they were infected people. So that's why he was like, no one was ever allowed to fucking say it, and I used to find people. And it went back into the budget for the film.
It's a smart way to do it, to be fair. And the last one, the blood drop scene, when Frank gets infected, as we discussed earlier, was shot over 20 times. Boyle considered it the most important emotional moment in the film. 20 times.
I'm going to say false. I don't think they've got the time for that. I don't think they've got the time for 20 takes.
I'm going to go true.
Another split. It's true.
Really?
It took 20 times. I think it's because it was secluded. It wasn't, they probably got away with just going in random fields where the fake taxi was.
They couldn't afford the crows. They were like, oh, come on. I just thought they'd be like, oh, we've only got 2 takes before it flies away.
So yeah, that was the trivia. I'd say you did quite well. Well done. Well done on the trivia.
Thank you.
You saw through a lot of my shithousery.
That's fair.
Okay, so that's it for this week's Nerds Against Normality. What did I learn this week? Well, if I ever wake up alone in a deserted hospital, I'm just going to go back to sleep. No questions asked. Apocalypse, not my problem. That's future Harry's problem. Thanks for hanging with us. Catch all our latest episodes every Wednesday wherever you get your podcasts from. Please follow, rate, like us on social media for more exclusive content. If you have a question, something you want us to review, or a great story from your week, please email us at nanpodcast@outlook.com. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.